While the City Sleeps, released in 1956, is one of the last two films that the legendary director Fritz made in Hollywood, along with Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Together, these two modestly produced films offer one of the bleakest visions of American society seen on film, and have less emphasis than your standard thriller on creating an exciting, action-packed plot. Lang seems more involved in staging extended dialogues to explore his characters and themes, whereas Beyond a Reasonable Doubt is focused on the injustices of the legal system, while The City Sleeps depicts the power struggle within a massive media conglomerate, not unlike the ones that dominate the news and entertainment industries today. Its owner, Amos Kine, whose corporate logo resembles the one in Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, passes away, leaving the company to his inept son, played by Vincent Price. The son decides to hire one of the heads of the company's branches to help him run the company. Vying for the position are Thomas Mitchell as John Day Griffith, head of the newspapers, George Sanders as Mark Loving, head of the wire service, and James Craig as Harry Kritzer, head of the news photo service. To make their case for the top job, each compete to break the story of the lipstick killer who has murdered several young women.
A doll of a front page. Best front page in the city.
Mitchell's main ally is Dana Andrews, who plays high-profile reporter Edward Mobley, who has special ties with the police to help get the scoop on the murder case.
I think it's an impertinence. He's laughing at the police by leaving clues, but no fingerprints.
Keep on talking. In the old days, before you were above writing about crime, you and I used to be pretty good together.
This film is best seen in light of how it works as a searing vision of the monstrous workings of a social system, a quality it shares with some of Lang's greatest films, such as M, Metropolis, and the Dr. Mabuse films. Some of the best choreographed scenes in While the City Sleeps take place in the Kine newsroom, and are more exciting than even the relatively lame chase sequence near the end of the film involving Mobley and the killer. As Dave Kerr writes, this story is a cynical twist on Lang's famous M. The sex killer becomes the most sympathetic character in the film, as Lang reserves his venom for the desperate, competitive reporters.
Let me hit the street with it by 7. Use it in your night show.
Is that what you want?
I want to get the job, that's the idea. And to get the job, I'll stick a knife in anybody I have to.
Lang makes connections between Mobley, Kine's son, and the killer. All three have a moment where their fetish for women's legs is revealed.
You have very nice legs.
Aren't you sweet?
Nice nylon stockings, too. What holds your stockings up?
There's a lot your mother should have told you.
Vegas, I was taking a swim. Then I looked up and saw Dorothy sitting by the pool. Saw her legs first. Those beautiful, long legs.
Keep the change.
More disturbing is the way Mobley seduces his girlfriend, which is identical to the technique the killer uses to access his victim's apartment. The only difference is that the killer's use of the button lock trick results in murder, while Mobley's results in a marriage proposal. But his engagement is jeopardized when he volunteers his fiancée to pose as a decoy to attract the killer, deliberately putting her in harm's way. The plot seems tied together by a few too many convenient coincidences, and the chase sequence at the end is relatively lacking. But one might argue that Lang deliberately frustrates conventional expectations for the movie thriller in order to retain focus on the machinations of the newsmen and how morally they seem as ruthless, shallow, and inhuman as the lipstick killer.
And if I know his maniacal mind, sooner or later, he'll come out after the bait. Well?
What bait?
Some nice girl, like the other two.
All right, darling, I'll do it. Let's keep it in the family.
I was pretty sure you'd say yes, but it's a good thing you did say yes. Because the announcement of our engagement is already in the paper.
It's as if Lang is saying that all men are controlled by the same base impulses of lust, greed, vanity. And all that separates these top-level newsmen from the killer they seek to expose, primarily for their own gain, is that they found an institution that legitimizes their misconduct.
Again at 11 tonight. In the meantime, for any further developments in the case of the lipstick killer, read the Sentinel, which hits your newsstands with its first edition at 7 o'clock this